Okay, how y'all doing today? I finished some builds, and I've got some work in progresses. I was going to show everyone, and so the first thing is what we've got going on for the Gaslands UK Car of the Month competition, and this month's competition is jet-powered dragsters. So I put this together out of a 1/72 scale ME163 Comet, and it's also made out of a Hot Wheels carbonator and dogfighter, and the front end off of a I think it's a 33 Ford. So all of that's mashed together in a nice little Frankenstein. And made a little bit of a tarp here. That is a technique picked up from Gaslands TV. It's just paper and Mod Podge, and got some sewing thread to make tie-down straps. So the engine is basically tied to the car, the dragster, and got drop tanks. Turned a flamethrower bit into additional fuel, because I imagine this thing's going to go through fuel relatively quickly. And even though it's a dragster, it's got a pair of heavy machine guns and mines. Actually, I just count this as one a heavy machine gun, but these little bombs on the tips are for mines. And about the only thing I really need to do is smooth out the gaps here. And I got the canopy. The canopy's actually broke. So what I'm probably going to do is try and trim the canopy down to where it's just enough to keep the wind off the driver. But funny thing is about the ME163 Comet was the fuel was so corrosive that the fumes would actually eat through the back panels here into the cockpit, and it would actually dissolve the pilots. And it was also extremely explosive. But I couldn't go with just the rocket because Gaslands UK wanted jet engine. And jets and rockets, they're similar, but it's a little bit different. I didn't want to be splitting hairs. So we used the jet engine off of carbonator, and basically hollowed out the Comet, moved the tail section up, so it's more or less controlled by the ailerons still, but it's kind of angled down, so it's got downforce to kind of keep it on the ground. Though I imagine if this thing even gets that much off the ground, it's going to go, But still, it looks like it's going to be a fun little car. And I really do hope the judges like it when I get it painted. Probably going to do a like a Red Baron scheme on it. Bright red, some blacks. I got some Iron Cross decals that should look good on it. So, all in all, I like this one. I like how it's going to turn out. It's going to be an Idris dragster too, so it's actually going to be one I'm actually going to play with. It's not going to be a shelf queen or anything, so that's a good deal. And I got these North Star bikes. I made these bases myself out of popsicle sticks. Motorcycles are supposed to be on. Did I just knock? I just knocked his napalm dropper off, didn't I? Yes, I did. Alright, I'll have to re-glue that. Okay. That's fine. But anyway, these bases here are just made out of popsicle sticks, layered and at the right size for the Gaslands bikes. And it's fairly easy to make. Just I cut them to size and then glued them with ye old Elmer's glue. There's not too much fancy to do about those. The one minor nitpick I have about the Implements of Carnage 2 bikes is the first set of bikes from Implements of Carnage 1 had a little square base at the bottom of them. So they actually sit up on their own. These you have to have glued to a base because they won't sit up on their own. So you've got to make sure you've got something to glue them down onto. And this is going to be either napalm or like a canister. So it's like, it's a jerry can. I figured it would be used as like a backpack. And they could just pull it. Probably won't use these as slime bikes. Speaking of slime, I've got a kind of a theme going on with the team that I was putting together. This is a Plymouth Barracuda, and it's got a harpoon, front ram, side ram, mines, and it's big bad fish, and it's got a starfish on the back here. I have all the intentions in the world of painting the starfish pink with swim trunks on it for a very obvious reason, because I think it's going to be hilarious. And hopefully I don't get sued for doing it. But I also got these here, and I've still got to do a little bit of work on these. All of these, except for the Comet, I've still got to do drivers and crew. But I wanted to show these before I shoehorned crew in. But these are shark cruisers. I'm going to use these as slime dragsters with front rams and roll cages. I imagine these little crabs here are actually like the protective part over top of where the drivers will be. And I have a whole bunch of these little ocean things that I picked up at a flea market. And so I've got... I'll do some of those lobsters. I haven't quite figured out yet what I'm going to do with them yet. But it's really cool. So I got a whole bunch of them. So the one thing about the shark cruiser is the tail sections are actually flat, so it makes them look like dolphins. So I had to fix that. So I cut the tails off, and we got it looking better. And then I bent the pipes up with lighter. This is not the safest way to work on your Hot Wheels cars by setting them ablaze, but it actually does kind of work. Because you basically heat up the plastic and it becomes a lot easier to bend and shape. You just have to be very careful not to melt it and get it on you, because it will hurt. And I've done that before, so I know from experience. But we still gotta add, like I said, we gotta add a driver on this one. I wanted to keep them separate. So this one's got more of a road wheels. This one's a little more off-roady. And then I'm running out of sculpting clay and stuff, but we'll sculpt out the little gaps here. And, but yeah, there's sharks carrying crabs on them. And normally Slime's not really a dragster team, but every time they hit the nitrous, they're going to have 5 hazards, which is going to put them over the 4 hull of a normal dragster. And so they're automatically going to give you audience votes. So then you can turn around and use those audience votes to use thunderous applause to get rid of the hazards. Or you can just go ahead next turn, drive them off, get another audience vote when it hits jet engine, and then use them basically as pin missiles going around every gear 1 and 2, generating you 2 votes each, while your actual the serious guy has to do all the work. These two get to have all the fun. They won't be winning the race, the team or anything, but I mean, when you're driving a shark car, do you really need to worry about winning the race? I think you've kind of already won life when you get to drive a car shaped like a shark. But anyway, that's something I think is kind of fun. Now the fun part, I think, is what some people are probably wanting to see is the Jay's Diecast is doing the Double Trouble build off for his girlfriend Amanda is having twins, and so everybody is kind of building cars for them and to enjoy. And I've got the cars for the twins, and then I've decided to do cars for Jay and Amanda. And so we'll go ahead and we'll start with Amanda's car here. And it's I think it's a Ferrari 308, but gave it a flamethrower. Real simple performance car build. Dualies. I was on a dually kick for some reason, but I know Amanda likes skulls, so got a skull hood ornament, skulls on the back, smoke launcher. So this has been a good car for a roll-off drag. Get ahead of people and then drop smoke in front of them. Obviously, I still gotta add, like I said, I'm gonna add crew and everything to it. Then paint it, of course, but that is what her car looks like. And then this one I made specifically for Jay, because this is his favorite casting. This is the 70 Chevelle, and I've always wanted to use these lift kits. I've had a few of these, and I kept putting them on the back burner to use, and I finally got around to doing that, and used a piece of sprue to make the drive shaft, because none of them come with the drive shafts for some reason. And these are John Deere tractor tires. So we jacked it up because I'm turning this Chevelle into a Chev truck, and it's equipped with a wall of amps. And if you ever go watch one of Jay's videos, and I recommend you watch his videos because he's really, really good at diecast customs and the roll-off drags and events, and he's really on top of his game. But he starts every episode with this line that's like goes, Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. My name's Jay. This is my diecast channel. And so I'm imagining, that being, since there is no internet in Gaslands, and there's just radio and television, I imagine this wall of amps truck is Jay's diecast channel on wheels. So we'll have that, and then on the back we'll probably have something like "Peace" written on the back. But being a truck, I'll actually have to put 3 crewmen in here. Driver, gunner, maybe somebody on top doing something. But that's fine. I figured it was be something unique that I don't think anyone's ever turned the Chevelle into a truck yet. So that's what I did. And of course, now these are the twins. And the twins are going to be fraternal, not identical. So they have the same equipment with turreted heavy machine guns and napalm droppers. Though you can use this for oil or glue. Like the Ferrari, they are both dualies. So lots of grip at the rear wheels. And they will both have the same paint scheme. Whatever I do for Amanda's Ferrari, and because her name's Amanda Ferrari, so she loves Ferraris. So you got the Ferrari and you got the Chevy. So the kids, you got the Chevy and the Ferrari. And they take a little bit from Dad and they take a little bit from Mom. So they're performance cars. They're chunky V8 front engine cars. I'm pretty sure this Ferrari is a front engine V8. I think this is. I'm pretty sure it is. But so there's a lot of similarities between these two cars, and but yet they're completely different in a lot of ways. So I figured that would be fitting. So now the fun part, of course, is going to be painting these. And right now my garage that I prime in is got vehicles in it, so I'm going to have to wait till a good sunny day to prime outside. And the weather in North Carolina is right now hovering around, is it going to rain or is it not going to rain? But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, I figured y'all would enjoy this, and I'll have another video soon. I finished all the Scarlet builds I was doing, and do a car of the month for last month's build, and I'll share that too. But this video is already getting close to 20 minutes, so take care, be safe, and goodbye. So, like, share, subscribe, yada yada yada. And I have don't forget, I have an Etsy store where you can support me. It's called King of Cats Crafts, and you can get awesome Gaslands customs from me, and I will be putting up some of my former Car of the Month entry vehicles up there soon, at sometime at the end of this week. So be on the lookout for that, and there'll be a little more. Most of my cars are $8. These are probably going to sell for about $15, $20. I haven't really quite made up my mind yet, but yeah, I really appreciate that, because that really does support me and allows me to keep doing what I love doing. So yeah, and with that, bye bye.